Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Josh or Dardock. I've been a pro player slash coach since 2016 and challenger every season since season 4. I've recently returned to streaming and making content, and a lot of people have been asking me on my stream about Gwen Jungle specifically, so I'm going to be making a guide today to better explain to you all how I win games on Gwen Jungle. So, why play Gwen Jungle? Well, to start, she is extremely fun. If you're somebody who likes to be challenged mechanically and have the ability to solo carry games from jungle, then Gwen is a great pickup for you. If you're more of the team-oriented jungle who prefers to gank and provide utility to your team, then Gwen probably isn't the best pickup for you. She is an extremely farm-focused jungle for the early stages of the game, but once she completes her first item, she can completely take over games. She's an extremely flexible champion in terms of her win conditions as well, because she uniquely thrives as a duelist slash split pusher. So when you do get ahead, she has many options in her arsenal to continue snowballing. Okay, quick rundown on Gwen's abilities. Gwen's passive is 1000 cuts. Gwen's auto attacks Qs and Rs deal bonus magic damage based on enemy missing HP. She also heals for 50% of this damage dealt to champions. Gwen's Q is Snip Snip. Passively, Gwen's basic attacks generate stacks capping at 4. The active is a cone skill shot that converts the center to 50% true damage. She snips an additional time per stack. So there's no stacks, and here's 4 stacks. Gwen's W is the Hollowed Mist. Gwen summons the Hollowed Mist on herself for 4 seconds, making her untargetable to all enemies except towers outside the zone, meaning she cannot be hit by anything other than turrets outside of this circle. Additionally, Gwen gains armor and MR while within the mist. Gwen can recast this ability once to recenter it, or it will automatically recast once the first time she leaves the zone. So that means, yes, like if you're inside the zone, you can recast it and it will just go center to you. But in most cases, when you're playing Gwen, this is how it will be used, is you'll dash outside of it for the first time and it will just insta-follow you. So, very convenient. Gwen's E is Skip and Slash. Gwen dashes and empowers her attacks for 4 seconds. Empowered attacks gain attack speed, magic damage on hit, as well as bonus attack range. The first enemy hit within the duration refunds a percentage of the cooldown. The spell resets Gwen's basic attack and can be used during Q to reposition. The dash is not a set distance, meaning you can short or long dash. Long dash being useful mostly as a repositioning slash chasing tool, and short dash being useful in situations where you don't want to close much distance, such as auto attack resetting on camps slash fights. So, for example, long dash takes this long, and short dash, when it's back, short dash is like pretty much instantaneous, as you see. Gwen's R is Needlework. Gwen hurls a needle that deals magic damage and slows for 1.5 seconds. Gwen can recast this ability up to 2 additional times within 6 seconds, 1 second cooldown between casts, and Gwen fires an additional 2 needles per cast, maxing at 5 needles on the 3rd cast. Okay, itemization with Gwen. So, to start, as every jungle starts, I would pick the blue pet. I think the blue pet is better in pretty much every single game you're going to play on Gwen, no matter what, in solo queue. The movement speed is just going to be more beneficial to you than the other 2 options. Now, first item, you're always going Nashor's Tooth. No matter what, you always go to Nashor's Tooth. In my opinion, on first recall, I like to go Codex. I see some people go Blasting Wand. In my opinion, I think the ability haste is more useful than the 20 AP, because all you're thinking about as Gwen in early game is farming, and the cooldown on your spells is more important than the 20 additional AP for clearing. So that's how I think about it. Now, after Nashor's is complete, you pretty much want to get to Death Cap and Riftmaker as soon as humanly possible. Now, the only difference is the components. And this, I mean, obviously they're different items, but the main difference in terms of your build path are the expense, like how expensive the components are, right? Obviously, you need 1250 to buy either component for Death Cap, whereas for Riftmaker, you have all these very cheap options to go for, right? So a lot of what's going to determine what your second item is as Gwen is how much you're actually recalling with, right? There are a lot of games where I will say, if you watch my stream, oh, I think Riftmaker's better second here, oh, I think Death Cap's best second here. It all depends on how much money I base with, because more often than not, if I actually have 1250 in my pocket, even if Riftmaker is better, I'm probably buying that large rod, because just the amount of power you get as Gwen from completing Death Cap at literally any stage after first item is just incomparable to any other item you can buy. So every single game on Gwen, my first 3 items are involving Nashers. Well, first item, always Nashers. No counterplay, always Nashers. Second item, ideally, almost always Deathcap or Riftmaker. Third item, you're buying whichever one you didn't get. And then from here, you pretty much want to have these 3 items plus a defensive shoe of your choice if you need it. If you do not need it, then I'm always going CD shoes. Gwen does not really benefit that much from Sorks. Don't fall into that propaganda. The ability haste is way more useful than M-Pen on this champion, and also the summoner haste is extremely vital for Gwen, as she's a champion that lives and dies by her ghost cooldown. Now from this point, you pretty much just want to buy to survive. So most games all have Azonias. If they have like a Gragas or I mean, mainly Gragas is the one I think about buying Banshees against, because there's just no counterplay to that guy. When you want to, if you want to dash into Gragas as Gwen, you just can't play. So that's pretty much the main champ I think about this on. You can think about it against like Zyra or Brand as well, I guess. Things of that nature. But pretty much this is what you want. These 3 items are key and vital to your success, and then these 2 are just, you know, stat sticks. They're a ton of AP, and they give you a benefit from their ability that is going to keep you alive or give you some outplay potential. Don't buy this. This is fake, I think. If you're buying this kind of item on a champ like Gwen, I think you're missing too many of your Qs and your Rs, because just these 3 items will help you deal enough damage for sure. That's why I only think about buying defensive after these first 3. I can't fight into Kennen. He does a little bit too much for me. Focused up this time. Oh my goodness. Playable. So here I'll auto the big one, 2 stacks, press Q. Just kill it with your autos now, so that you can save your 4 stacks for the Krugs here. Now make sure all the little Krugs spawn first, and then press Q. Now again, Gwen has execute, so start it with smite. Q as soon as you get 4 stacks. Nice, avoid that last auto attack there. It's harder to kite the red buff than it is the blue buff like that. I can actually auto it multiple times, so. Always just send out your Q with 1 stack there, because by the time your Q is off cooldown, you'll have 4 stacks back anyway. Here, just save my stacks and kite it to the Gromp. Making good time here. This would be where the timing where you would want to ward for yourself. Like if you're worried about them invading you from above here or here, after Gromp is when I would think about warding. Save my stacks. Or while you're pulling blue, you can just pop your ward here. And then here you still have a smite up and you're not super healthy, but healthy enough certainly to contest something. And you just decide here. Based on who has prio, who doesn't, you make a decision on what scuttle to contest. If it's neither, you just press B and go back to your first spawning camp. If you do play scuttle, then you can't recall here. So I'll show what I mean by that is. Your raptors are going to be coming up shortly, so in this case, if you base and run back to raptors, there's a chance enemy jungle can play for them. So when I get into this predicament as Gwen, I simply will just play to do my next spawn of raptors. So this would be normal in real game time for me to have a second ward here too. I can simply just put it at my entrance right there and do my raptors again. And obviously Gwen is not a champion that is going to struggle at killing the second spawn of camps, even without a recall. So, simply just do it like that. Then the Krugs are here. And this is why I wouldn't use my smite on the scuttle ever, unless it's like a necessary thing, where you're being contested, because you ideally want it for this, and you ideally want it for your respawning raptors and Krugs. And then here, 1200 gold, boom. Perfect recall. And I run back to my next spawning camp, which would be wolves. So as you see, the timing is going to be like pretty perfect here. Because in the first round, I did my raptors, Krugs, and then I did red buff for like 20 seconds here, right? But this 20 seconds is me recalling, essentially. And now by the time I made it back here, my wolves spawned literally in sync with me. And this is the real benefit of cycling your small camps first. As you're pretty much spending no downtime ever. See, my Gromp is spawning as I'm walking to it. And now I will be in position on the grubs, which is my Woodcon as Gwen. I have 30 seconds before they spawn to get vision control in the area or help my laners get prio, and I can just play for them instantly.
Spawn. Minions have spawned.
Auto the plant. 2 stacks, and we Q. 4 stack, we Q. Get it to 4 stack, and then we kite, and then Q auto.
No one said life would be easy.
Nice.
That is its charm, to be sure.
We do the small camps first because we want them to respawn as a weak early game champ. The usual. My passive is execute damage, so we smite the blue early. So my Q does more damage there. And then on this E cooldown, we're gonna kite it. So it can't auto us like this. When your E is active on Gwen, you have more range than the blue buff, so you want to kite it like that so you can avoid the last few autos there. It's really important. Now here's where I can start to be invaded as Gwen. So I will kite the raptors. Most of my games like this, I'll kite the raptors and I'll just ward my entrance here, like this. So if they do invade me, I'll at least have knowledge of it. Same thing again, just a little efficiency thing there. Keep my stacks up, and I'm longer range than the red buff. So I don't actually take damage for it, I actually heal from it because my pet is hitting that red buff and giving me health while I do that. And I don't lose much time for it, efficiency wise. I will just Q this, save time. Oh, I missed that one. Lose like a second. Now the one detail about this ward that's important is if it's a champion that can dash this wall, then you need to ward this bush directly, like on this side right here, so that you can see if they go over the wall to cheese you. So like a Graves or a Kindred or an Italy or something who has multiple angles. And then from here, ideally you're going to have knowledge of which crab is going to be contestable, and if it's not, then you're just going to base and recontest or redeploy to your wolves there. Thank you all for watching the video. This was my first ever YouTube video, so I know there are plenty of things to improve on. So please feel free to let me know any ways I can make this content better in the comments below. I really do appreciate all the feedback. I'm really motivated to continue releasing content in general, so I'll be working on my next video right away. If you want to be a part of the voting for what champion I pick for the next guide, please join my Discord server as I make all the voting polls there regarding my YouTube videos. And that's all for this video. I really hope it was useful to you all, and thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitch and Twitter at Dardoc, and please subscribe here so you can be notified of future videos. Take care, everybody.